Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our amazing Christmas extravaganza. Joe, how are you, my friend?
I am excellent. 'Tis the season. How are you?
Look at you with all the fancy special effects. I am wonderful. I'm not in my office tonight, like where I always do the show. I weaseled my way into my living room so that I could have my beautiful Christmas tree behind me and my fireplace and be totally in the spirit of the season. So, again, hello, everybody. Welcome to the big Christmas spectacular. We always have really amazing Christmas shows, and tonight's going to be no different than any other year. But first, I want to thank our wonderful sponsor, Film Hub. Film Hub is a great place for independent filmmakers to bring their films, to get them distributed, and to have them on multiple platforms and put them in the households of hundreds of millions of households. Film Hub, check them out if you're an indie filmmaker.
Now, let's get to some of these comments. Holy crap, they're just starting to pour in, Dave.
Hey, CJ, Merry Christmas, my friend. Hey, Sean, Merry Christmas, my brother.
I'm not quite sure who that is, but okay. I
Okay.
have a feeling that's Gabe.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
Thank you,
beautiful,
Carrie.
talented Carrie. Hello, I will see you tomorrow, my dear friend Emmett. I hope you are well.
Joe has Christmas Sprite. Heck yes. Brandon.
What's up, David? We both look very festive. Thank you. Christmas is just a couple days away, and I'm starting to get into the Christmas spirit. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm excited.
You know, I figured I already had the gut. I might as well try to grow out the beard a little and then do the hat.
Understood. Joe, why don't you tell everybody who's watching about that wonderful business venture your wife and daughter are doing?
I would love to. That would be Hearts of the Mystic Folk. They're lovely, all-natural wax melts, scented wax melts. Check them out at heartsofthemysticfolk.com.
Well, we're going to have a world premiere of sorts tonight on this lovely little program. A couple of years back, my dearest of friends, Grunkle Scott Schiaffo and Brian O'Halloran, pop culture icon, and that's just creepy. And Joe, you're like, I can't see you at all.
The only way I can type is if I go to a different screen. How else am I going to message you and drive you nuts?
Oh, okay. I don't even... Hold on. Let me just see what Joe has to say. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas, my friend. Me and Brian O'Halloran and Grunkle Scott Schiaffo and multi-Grammy award-winning bassist Joe Ferry and drummer extraordinaire Alan Jax Bowers, and there were some other very talented musicians that I'm sure when I bring Grunkle Scott on, I think one gentleman, Sean Faust, was a keyboard player. We convened in the woods of Pennsylvania between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we recorded a Christmas EP called The Wandering Wannabes, where Brian did a wonderful, wonderful job on lead vocals, and Grunkle Scott did a wonderful job on many instruments, and I was just a handsome guy that we put on the front of the packaging. With that being said, let's bring on, because this is a Christmas show, we shouldn't be with my stupidity, our lovely co-host. What's up, Joe? Oh, you did do your, yes, you did. Okay. Let's bring our lovely co-host, dear friend, and just all around swell guy, Grunkle Scott Schiaffo on. Grunkle Scott, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Welcome to the big Christmas
All
extravaganza.
right, let me get a close up on that. What is that?
That is Claus is coming to town. Claus is coming to town. That was a gift from the lovely and beautiful Carrie Werner. Hey.
Hey, Ken, how are you? All right. And without further ado, another film icon and just a great guy and a wandering wannabe and something very important that we should all know, the birthday boy. Let's bring on pop culture icon and my brother, Brian O'Halloran. Happy birthday and Merry Christmas, Brian.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It'll be my birthday. I think it's at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow, the 20th. But thank you for the birthday wishes. It's good to be here on your Christmas extravaganza. Good to see you, Scott, as always. And Joe, you are the master at the board. Good to see you. And your screen and your digital virtual reality getup is really impressive.
Well, thank you. I really take that as a compliment coming from you.
It is. Look at it. I mean, man, it freezes up as soon as you say it.
Come on, you got to admit that 12-foot tree behind me looks real. And that fireplace. And
trust me, I've been in that house, and this has to be the biggest tree I've ever seen in your living room.
I was a little.
From our angle, it looks like the top of it has actually gone through your ceiling.
Oh, yeah, no, it's in the bedroom. Finishes in my daughter's room. Yeah, we clock Griswold that shit up.
It almost looks like a portal, like the game Portal, where it's half in the other room.
All right, seeing it's our Christmas show, I've never ever played these on the end of the night before, but I'm actually very proud of them. I know Scott's very proud of them, and even though Brian likes to be curmudgeonly, I'm sure he had a great time doing this. We had
a bit of a throat issue that day, but we did it. We knocked it out of the box, and hopefully people enjoy it. I mean, I would re-record it myself, but here we go.
Here we go, Joe. Let's go with the Wandering Wannabes present God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
God rest you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. In Bethlehem in Israel, this blessed babe was born and laid within a manger upon this blessed morn, of which his mother Mary did nothing take in scorn. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. From God our Heavenly Father a blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God in name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Uh-oh. Hold up.
Ah,
What
It's
the
been
hell?
closed.
I think that was the end anyway. Close enough.
Something's going on.
There we are.
that was awesome,
I
man.
don't know if StreamYard liked that.
Oh,
Everybody's a critic.
Well, that melody's only 8,000 years old. I don't think it's a copyright problem.
No. It was the size of the actual.
The
Anyway.
size of what? Zing! That
Size
dude
matters.
O'Halloran. Really, that is. Brian, you did a wonderful job with that. That's no joke.
thank you. Thank you.
You know, and all kidding
I
aside,
can do better. I can do better.
I think it was really, really. First of all, we had a blast recording that up at Alan's studio up here in the woods of Pennsylvania. And you know what? It's something that we will have forever. Forever. Was that not Madison? No, it was all Brian. Brian was the lead vocalist, the mastermind behind
No,
that.
you were the mastermind. I just sang the words.
Yes.
And
Scott,
orchestrations by Scott. I mean, unbelievable.
You
Scott,
got
did
it.
I miss
Sean
anybody? Did I miss
No, you
anybody else on other than Sean Faust who worked on that?
No, that's great. Sean Faust, wonderful keyboard player, guitar player, all around amazing musician here in New Jersey. And yeah, I mean, Alan did a fabulous job at his studio. That was a lot of fun, man.
Absolutely. All right. Without further ado, this was what the single of our EP was. It's the all-time Christmas classic, Jingle Bells. I really, really liked the way Scott and Alan and all the musicians behind it put this together, because it has such a fun kind of Irish bar sound to it. Go ahead, give it a play. Everybody will see what we're talking about. Jingle Bells by the Wandering Wannabes.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing on a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. Soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank and we got upside. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is white, go get it while you're young. Take the girls out tonight and sing this sleighing song. Just get a bobtail bay, 24 for his speed. Then hitch him to an open sleigh and crack, you'll take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open
That was fun. That was a lot of fun to do. And Brian, you're very, 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 you're a hard critic on yourself, but that's what all really good artists are. You did a very, very, very stellar job with both of those songs. And the third song, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, which was more of a group song. But I thought they all were pretty cool.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words from everybody in the comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate that as well. And yes, you did forget to mention, Scott, we did have another piano player. I think it was Totes McGoats McGee, whatever that cat's name was, in the video there.
Cats and Keys, right? That's one of the hottest cats on keys, man.
Yeah.
Yes, that cat had talent. Ken is correct.
There was.
Oh, happy birthday, Brian, from Carrie Werner. Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes,
So
my
Scott,
birthday.
now that that was the first time that we ever you Brian and I actually ever played the Wandering Wannabes songs. Do you have any thoughts on those songs or that Christmas EP before we move on to something else?
Well, after that session and after we were done with the mixes, I thought it would be pretty cool if the Wandering Wannabes actually started doing some original tunes that weren't Christmas per se, but it's hard because we're all in different places now. I don't know. We'd have to record virtually, right? Alan's in Florida now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But because I had a couple of tunes that I thought would have been perfect for the Wandering Wannabes.
We released that, and on CD Baby was the first platform it was up. And this is a wonderful piece of really heartwarming trivia. The very, very first person who downloaded that was Lisa Spoonhour. So I thought that was pretty awesome. I think you guys remember that.
That's
oh
right.
my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So I mean,
Wow.
that was I had a blast doing that.
Let's just for the folks who might not know.
Okay.
Who Lisa is. Brian, you want to?
Sure. Lisa Spoonhour played Caitlin in the original Clerks. Unfortunately, she lost her 10-year battle from complications from colon cancer. Big thoughts are to her and her family to know that she was the first one to download that song is, wow, incredibly heartwarming. And we missed her terribly on Clerks 3 that we shot during the summer. Her name came up multiple times in the production of it. So, Lisa, we're thinking about you. Thank you so much for being a supporter of all of our work and endeavors ever since we've got to know you way back in '93.
Yeah, I thought that was an amazingly touching moment that the very first person that downloaded it. And you know what? I think she wrote under our, when we first put it up on Facebook for people to hear, she had some wonderful things to say about how much she liked it. So that was
Right on.
really, really awesome. With that being said, Mr. Ridgely, do we have anybody in the green room that you could pop on? Just pop them on one by one, and we'll say hello as they pop on.
One of my favorite people who I've interviewed many times in the past 5 years or so, Mr. David Howe Thornton.
Dave! Oh!
Hey!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Happy birthday, too, Brian.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes. I had to get in the festive spirit, too. I was like, yeah, might as well.
Is that a Rudolph hat?
It is. It's a like Evel Knievel reindeer type of hat.
Oh, look at
I
that.
haven't
There's a
worn it in
star on it.
years. It's probably
Stripes.
dusty.
Got a little bit of Captain America going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
man,
right.
it is dusty. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, do not bring up the Marvel Universe with David right now. Don't do it.
I haven't
No.
seen the new one yet. I haven't seen Spider-Man
No,
yet.
I'm talking about Groucho over there that has seen it, and never mind.
Uh-oh.
Groucho. That's me. You know, it's funny because Dave, right now you are probably one of the you star as one of the hottest characters in all of the horror genre as Art the Clown and Terrifier. And I know that you guys got a sequel coming out. Do you guys have a release date yet on that? Or I know it's soon.
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
Okay. No, I'm
He's
sorry.
still working to edit. He's almost done. He's doing they're doing color corrections for the last half of the movie right now, and so we're hopefully going to be shopping around to distribution by January. So
I can tell you all the people to stay away from. I'm very good at that. What makes you so awesome, Dave, is that your career's taking off, and you're just still such a sweet guy. I see you at the conventions. You're kind with all your fans, and you're just when somebody asks you if you want to be involved in something or if you want to, it's what makes you awesome, Dave. So I wanted to say that to you, and happy Christmas and Merry Christmas and whatever you celebrate.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
All that stuff.
Happy horror days.
So let me ask you. I want to ask everybody, if you guys can only watch one television Christmas special this year, what would you choose? And I'm going to go with Scott first.
Damn. Oh, man.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Oh, gosh. I don't know. It probably would. If I could only see one, I guess It's a Wonderful Life, probably.
Okay, that's more of a Christmas movie, but I'll accept it.
Is that not what we're talking about?
No, like a Christmas special, like Rudolph, Frosty.
Oh, geez. Yeah, then I'm going with Charlie Brown.
Oh, Charlie Brown. Everybody's go-to. What about you, Joe?
Last night we actually watched two of our favorites, The Year Without a Santa Claus and Charlie Brown. So it would be number 1 and 2, I think.
Nice. What about you, Bri?
I would say, my first thought was also the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. But when it comes to specials like that, you can't get around Charlie Brown. And then number 2 for me would probably been Rudolph.
Rudolph, sweet. What about you, Dave?
Well, this one is an easy one for me because this one's near and dear to my heart because I toured with it for 5 years on the road. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. So I'd say How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's also the first true American Christmas story too.
Yeah, and it's also wonderful. Boris Karloff did.
Oh,
how much better can you get?
Oh, so good.
There's a great. I will get to mine, but it reminds me of a great story. My brother Bob, he was on a forensics team in college. Now, a forensics team sounds like something to do with being a coroner or something, but it's not. It's where you go to other colleges and you compete in memorizing great works of literature and reading them to large groups of, not reading them, but remembering them and saying them in front of large groups. So my brother Bob gets all the way to the finals, and he's up for the championship. It's in the Houston Astrodome in 1985.
Wow.
And my brother Bob is up against somebody from Princeton who reads a work of William Shakespeare. And then my brother Bob, it was his turn. And my brother Bob got up in front of a half-packed Astrodome and recited word for word in a perfect Boris Karloff voice, The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Got a standing ovation and won the national championship. I always thought that was a story that was almost worthy of a film. It's so cool.
That's fantastic.
My favorite is probably one that is not super popular, but for some reason every year it kind of makes my eyes well up and makes me weep. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. Has some of the best numbers and is just fantastic. But what the hell do I know? All right, Joe, is there anybody else hanging out in the green room?
Yes, sir. There is JW.
JW, Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Distinguished company tonight. This is I'm good. I'm doing well.
I was going to ask you, John, because I just asked these gentlemen, if you had to watch only one, not a Christmas movie, but if you had only one Christmas special that you could watch this Christmas, what would you choose?
It's got to be Rankin Bass. You got to go Rudolph because Rudolph has the Island of Misfit Toys. Rudolph has
true.
One of my good friends wrote a book about the Island of Misfit Toys, so I got to go Rudolph. But I'm going to give you another one that I think is actually creeping up and is more recent from Disney. There are these movies called Prep and Landing, and they're little Disney specials about the elves that prep for Santa, and they're they're really good. They've done 3 of them. They're very well done. They're hip. They're a little bit more, nuancy, new age, good animation. But you got to go Rankin Bass.
It's funny. I really, really liked Rudolph when I was a kid, and the Island of Misfits Toys, and Yukon Cornelius, and the dentist, and her. But when I got older, I got really sad watching it because Santa is such a prick in that special.
Yes.
He doesn't look good. He looks like a boss. He looks like a capitalist boss in America. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get the job done. Your kid doesn't look right.
What is happening?
Well, he's running a sweatshop. Come on, people. Let's call it what it is. It's a sweatshop with seasonal work. He actually inspired Bezos for the work environment in the Amazon distribution centers.
Those elves are peeing in jars. Those elves are peeing in jars.
Someone needs to free those house elves.
That's how it said. Don't eat the yellow snow. It started at the workshop.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But it's not even only Santa. The other reindeer are pricks too. Like that Jim
coach. Who's really bad? That coach. That one horrible reindeer coach who's like, your kid's not good in any reindeer games, man. And he's like going to like one of the top reindeer, going, "Hey, your kid's kind of a lame-o. What's going on at home?"
I think back in the day, that movie was giving it to you for the real thing. That's what it is, kids. If you're not going to buck up, yeah, that's right. I said buck up. You're not going to make the team. So that's what it was. It was just giving you that whole, like, corporate America isn't going to take it here, Herbie, and your dentist dreams. You're either in the shop or you're out on your ears.
Big pointy ears.
That's what I got out of it as a kid.
Always be cobbling. A B C. Always be cobbling.
Here's one. Did any of you guys seen? He had a wonderful Halloween special. It's actually one of my favorites, but not many people are familiar. Did any of you guys see the Garfield Christmas special?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
20-something years ago. It doesn't make
that one. That one isn't as wide. That one isn't as widely put out. Like some of the older ones from like 80s, 90s, you really have to go searching for.
Yeah.
And like the ones that are kind of like got a lock, a monopoly on it, Grinch, that still get their yearly showings. Those are the ones that keep on turning over and just, grinding through.
Yeah, I remember there was one like called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" and it had these mice in it and stuff like that
yes,
too.
And the clock and the or the watch or clock or something.
Yeah. I don't remember that one at all.
For clarity's sake, for me, the Rudolph, where you're saying Santa was a jagoff, is that the one? Is that the one? We're talking about the really adorable and not claymation, but it was
stop motion animation.
Right.
Stop motion.
Yeah.
I all I remember is adorable Rudolph. I don't remember any of the.
I'm just saying he might have been a user. Like all of a sudden it's foggy and you need your red nose. I'm just saying.
It makes that weird sound.
That's probably why it resonated with me. Yeah.
I'm just saying. All of a sudden, if you go to work a shift at any job you've ever worked at, and they're like, "Hey, you're real special. Can you just come in and do like an extra 5-6 hours on the holidays?" Then all of a sudden, Santa in the Rudolph Christmas special doesn't seem as great.
Yeah. No. And who's the prick who literally like puts dirt on his nose, like tries to cover
his dad?
His dad. Yeah. His dad.
His dad is like, "Don't go to school like that, freak."
Yes, I put some dirt on your nose.
Here, take some dirt. Take some dirt.
You're bigger than me, kid.
It's one of those things where you can. One of the things I think that's great about the Rankin Bass thing is you can talk about differences and you can talk about like these movies and things that were made in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They were definitely more not risque, but they're less nice. And it's not a bad thing. It's just Santa's not really nice. He has a job to do. He doesn't fit into his suit yet. He's got to eat all those cookies. There's a lot of pressure on the man.
Because he is very skinny in that movie too.
We start out really skinny, and then Mrs. Claus comes and is like, "You got to get in your suit, fatty. Let's go."
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on
weird because he had like those skinny body with this huge head.
On the suspenders, it was really weird because those are definitely a fat guy thing. Suspenders, right? but he's wearing the suspenders and he's super thin, so it's like, hipster? No, okay.
You know what? I also which was the one where Santa was running around and he had flaming red hair and a red bearded mustache.
Oh, that was
No, isn't that Yukon Cornelius?
No.
No,
It's
there's
the
one where he's young.
backstory.
Yeah, I think
It's
Mickey
Oh.
Rooney played him, right? Mickey Rooney.
It's
Yeah.
the Heat Miser, and Freeze.
Yeah, the year without a Santa Claus, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
it's
is he Miser Freeze-Meyer? Isn't that Rudolph Shiny New Year?
No.
That's a year
Originally,
without
it's
a
a year
Santa
without
Claus.
a
This is
Santa
the year
Claus.
without a Santa Claus. Yeah.
Was it
Just watched it last night.
Is that which one
Heat
you watched
Miser,
last night,
Cool
Joe?
Miser, and
Yeah.
Mother Nature
Yeah.
is their mother.
They got such a great musical number in that too.
Amazing.
I
I
love it.
I forget what band who covered the Heat Miser song, but
Yeah.
there's some '90s alternative band that covered Heat Miser like brilliantly.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It'd be great if
I'm
it was
too
like
much.
Pantera.
Did any of you guys get the Twisted Sister Christmas album?
Yes.
No.
No. I'm gonna say no.
It's actually surprisingly good, John. You'd be surprised how good it is.
I'm just one of those things that slipped my pop culture oeuvre.
And Dee Snider, he does a duet with Lita Ford. This came out afterwards, and they added it to the Twisted Sister Christmas album.
Wow.
Actually, one of the Christmas albums I'm spinning the most this year is the new Billy Idol Christmas album. Any of you guys heard that?
I
one?
have that as
No.
well.
Get out.
They're-
New?
Yeah.
It's new?
Brand new.
Wow.
It came out this year.
Well, there's one that
Wow.
came out 2 years ago, and then they re-released, I believe.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Steve Stevens is on it, I hope. Anybody know? Anybody?
I didn't look to see who was
Oh, come on.
playing any instruments. We were just looking at the guy with the.
Oh, if it's got that mind-blowing guitar, it's got to be Steve Stevens.
It's.
Are some of the lyrics like "It's a good day for a white Christmas"? I'm just.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I could pull up one of the Christmas albums I just downloaded recently. Talk amongst
You can also go with like a reindeer yell. No, okay.
All right, another movie that gets me, and I don't know if any of you guys are into this because it's really like out there, is I adore Prancer. Did you guys see Prancer?
Prancer's a
Oh my
great
God.
movie.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. They actually, like in my hometown, like a year or so after that, they actually got this one doctor actually got one of the reindeer they used for Prancer to be in his display in his yard.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you actually meet the Prancer from the movie Prancer.
Wow, that's a power play.
Yeah.
Was he like giving Hoofmark 8x10 prints out to you?
Yeah.
Just a nose print.
I was once at a show.
He sneezed on me, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
I was once at a show. At the table next to me was a tire, the tire Rubber.
Oh my
And the
god.
and the scary part is he had a bigger line than I did. I was really upset.
Oh
But-
no.
Prancer,
I
they
was
was
not
not
expecting Rubber on a
remember
Christmas
that.
show.
What was that from now?
what Rubber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when we went to, I think you were at that show, and we,
Yeah,
were you
yeah,
there,
yeah.
Brian, we did that show out in Altoona, and Rubber the tire was there.
Now that's the horror movies based around a tire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It's
tire.
Ascension Tire. It's Ascension Tire that
Yeah.
happens to be in love.
It
And
is
he's
the
misunderstood.
craziest movie.
Thrown out there. Just thrown out there. He's misunderstood.
Literally at the conventions, they had these pieces of 8x10 with tread marks on it, and that's what the autograph was. The tire from Rubber. It was hilarious.
That's fantastic.
That's ingenious. That's on somebody's wall somewhere.
In Prancer, when Sam Elliott reads "Yes, Virginia, there's a Santa Claus," I think that's what it's called.
Mhm.
I literally weep like a schoolgirl. So I don't know if you guys are feel the same way about that movie, but it's do you guys? I think I know the answer for Brian and Scott. So this is more of a question for John, Joe, and David. When you guys were growing up, the three of us grew up in the New York area, Scott and Brian and I, and we had something called the WPIX U-Log. Did you guys have that where you guys grew up?
So I grew up in Scranton. We had
Okay.
Channel 11, WPIX. They
Okay.
had the U-Log. The U-Log came on every year after the 2 Honeymooners Christmas episodes.
Oh.
Yes.
That was always like, that was when you knew you were in the thick of Christmas, when the 2 Honeymooners Christmas episodes were on and you were a kid and you had to go to bed, and then the Yule log would appear and then you're like, okay, you got to go to bed then. So
Yeah,
we
they
had
used
that. We had that in Scranton.
And they used to play it for 48 hours. They used to start it. Right. And did you have that, Dave, as a kid?
No, I grew up in Alabama, so no, we didn't have that. But we had the Santa tracker thing every year, where like the weatherman would get on. He's tracking Santa, and so that was the big thing.
Oh, like the NORAD thing.
Yeah.
You know, Dave, you're showing your age, because when me and Brian were young, we had to call up 976-2626 on the hour to hear Santa tell us where he was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
you
you got to
that?
realize they're dealing with over-the-air antennas when they were doing this on Channel 11.
And if I remember correctly,
they had to do it by
yes.
what is it?
Yes, the rotary phone. Rotary
telegraph.
and I think David is mistaken. I believe in Alabama they didn't have the Yule log; they had the tire fire.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably from the local
mixing
trailer
genres there too.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, up north, why would you need a Yule log for 48 hours on TV? Didn't like every home almost have a fireplace?
Not New
Apartments.
York City.
I see you've never been in New York City, sir.
No.
No, I've been.
We have
I wasn't thinking New York
That's-
City,
yeah.
but WP, they friggin' broadcasted everywhere. I mean, they were on Long Island when I was there,
but-
and
The $7 million or 8 million population in New York City back in the 70s, it was apartments. If you were in a house, you were out on Long Island or Staten Island.
Yeah, we were on
If you
Huntington
if
Harbor,
you wanted
but-
to see a fire like that, you lit a trash can. Up on fire.
So not everybody had one inside and outside.
Some people did have a lit trash can inside their house. I'm sure.
No, I
there
was
was.
referring to a fireplace inside.
The lit trash can inside my crack house.
My grandfather was a
In New York
stonemason,
City-
and he built
in
an
New York
elaborate
City-
one.
Yeah, in New
I
York City,
did have friends. I did have friends in New York that they did like a Yule log kind of concept on the fire escapes, but then I was always told that you could get arrested. So
Fire
Need
on
the
the
Yule log.
fire escape.
Oh, the
So,
irony.
Yeah, not too dangerous.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
So, John recently suggested that I watch a Cary Grant and David Niven film called The Bishop's Wife. Now, really, really wonderful film. Has anybody other than John on here seen it?
No.
No?
I have.
It's Cary Grant, David Niven, and was it Loretta Young?
Loretta Young, yeah,
So
it is. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I
You're
wanted.
sure, I'm just visiting. I'm
I
just
know-
visiting.
no,
with
no,
with
no,
my- with
I-
my
I know-
Mandalorian shirt and stuff.
I mean, I know how much you love this movie, and you have
I think-
impeccable taste on this particular movie. It's great, and I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I think the interesting thing about it is, so it occurs. The movie is released in '47, so it's a year after It's a Wonderful Life. So we've already had a movie where an angel showed up and fixed things, but then Clarence becomes Cary Grant, and it's just got this warm soul. Like it's an inviting. Cary Grant is the most like he's mischievous and kind of just like he's playing with words and he's moving and he's shifting through the neighborhoods and he's walking around, and it's just very on the street. And I always loved, watching it with my dad. My dad he would always say, like, try to find movies that were off the beaten path. And he's like, everybody loves It's a Wonderful Life, as they should. But The Bishop's Wife is right in that wheelhouse where it's charming and there are charming scenes in it. It even has two of the kids from It's a Wonderful Life in the movie. So it's like they were trying to make another hit, although It's a Wonderful Life didn't really hit. So they were trying to make another movie similar. And also David Niven is playing second fiddle to somebody, which in the 30s and 40s didn't happen, but it happens because Cary Grant is the other star. So you have David Niven playing straight, playing like the bishop that's a little bit off his game, can't get everything going, and it's about like greedy people that are infesting the church. So it's got like deep themes and all kinds of things going on about taking care of business at home, like with your wife, making sure your family's in order. And I just think it's one of those movies where if more people watched it, I think it would become something you could watch every year. And Loretta Young is as beautiful as Donna Reed in It's a Wonderful Life. And it's just, Cary Grant is great. I love anything where you have somebody that's supposed to be like a super good guy, like an angel, and he's kind of like hip and kind of like, not douchey, but thought like he's just like, oh, really? You're going to do that? Hey, if I got a letter like that, I'd be really shocked. You know, like just if I get a letter from my boss, you know what I mean? And he's just like playing with David Niven, and David Niven's the straight man, which didn't really happen a lot for David Niven. And there's all kinds of great stories about the making of the film. First director gets fired. The owner of the studio came in and fired everybody, recast parts, because David Niven was originally supposed to play the angel, and Cary Grant was originally supposed to play the bishop. And the only reason Grant wanted to do that was because it was called The Bishop's Wife, until he read the part. And then he's like, no. I want to play the angel. The angel is the one that's got the best gig. He gets to ice skate and he gets to do all the cool things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a magical movie. And I just think it's one of those movies that we've lost over time that I think deserves not a redo. I don't want to reboot or anything, but they did Preacher's Wife already with it. They already did it once where they did a reboot. But I think
be careful what you wish for. Blumhouse is listening right now,
especially on this show.
Yeah, Bishop's Wife is all of a sudden a horror film set at Christmas. But yeah, I think it's one of those magical movies. It's got a lot of funny sequences. David Niven gets stuck to a chair for a good 10, 15 minutes, and it's absolutely David Niven doing improv comedy where he's stuck to a chair and he can't get up, and he's moving around, and it's just. It's an odd movie, but it's also very fun. And Cary Grant is like the height of his powers. Like he's just magnetic.
And you know what's really cool? Also cool about that movie is that Elsie Lanchester, who is one of the most iconic faces because she's the Bride of Frankenstein, is in this heartwarming, loving movie. And you know, I have weird, like when I watch movies, I have just like weird shit that goes on in my head, and I'm wondering, like, when Cary Grant's working with Elsie Lanchester, is he saying to himself, "Holy shit, I'm working with the Bride of fucking Frankenstein here," or do you think, like, I mean, because maybe how iconic the images of her playing the bride were not as iconic in the 1940s. But in retrospect, it's just so cool. And you spoke earlier, the young George Bailey is in it. And
Zuzu.
And Zuzu, the daughter, was in it. Just
Debbie. She played Caroline Grimes, who played Debbie in Wonderful Life, played Zuzu in It's a Wonderful Life, but she plays Debbie in the movie. She's the daughter. So it's really kind of like, you get the idea. Maybe it might have been a studio movie that they tried to make after It's a Wonderful Life. Maybe got well received, but it was. Remember, Wonderful Life wasn't a hit until it hit 50s, 60s, 70s, right? So. And then they started noticing Bishop's Wife again. So it's one of those things where it's a little bit cyclical, but also you want a movie like it to get noticed because it's got really great themes running through it. And it's a beautiful Christmas movie. It has a wonderful midnight mass on Christmas Eve. That's the heart of the story, where David Niven's trying to write his sermon. And he's also trying to build this huge cathedral that he's having trouble raising the money for. And the place where he's building the cathedral is all people who are poor and don't have money for trees or don't have money for food, and he's missing the point of what church is supposed to be, or what being somebody that's a man of God is supposed to do. And Cary Grant's just there to help him.
No, absolutely. And John, you and I could talk about this movie till the cows come home because we're film geeks, and we're probably the only two people watching this show who actually saw the film. So let's move on to something
I was going to need a cup of coffee in a second.
It's great. And anybody watching the show, it is a fantastic movie. Beautiful black and white saturation, cinematography, really nice. Can't go wrong.
You know what's funny? When I was watching it, I was wondering what the film would have been if Bing Crosby played David Niven's part. It would have been interesting.
It would have had a different vibe.
Yeah,
because I think it might have been hard for him to play, like, Niven gets the straight-laced hero that's in a bunch pretty well, which is odd because he usually played the cool cat, you know what I mean, in Guns
but
and
it was
Ammo.
but it had a little bit of a Bells of St. Mary vibe to it. That's why I was thinking
yes,
Bing Crosby
absolutely
would have been awesome. Sorry guys, I apologize for me and John going on the Bishop's Wife tangent because we're film geeks and that's what we do.
The Bishop tangent, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Brian, did you have any thoughts on that movie, or you want to move on to?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, he covered it completely as the same way I would feel. It's definitely it's got that vibe of, yeah, this was that kind of like, we want to get our version of a man down and out and some angel comes and helps them, and then we got it in the 90s with Touched by an Angel, but it was, two women as opposed to one woman who's an angel. And so it's definitely a great, if you can catch it on the Turner Movie Classics, if they ever get to show it. Or I know it's showing, if you have Amazon Prime, you can see it right now after this show, and you can see it for part of your membership. And David Niven, I think when you said, Bing Crosby for the David Niven part, I can see why you lean that way, David.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the same. David Niven and his neurosis, his way he plays the trouble, on him, I think would have played better than Bing in this sense.
No, absolutely. No. I was just thinking about, because even though it's a movie about, it doesn't have an overly Christmas feel to me.
No,
and I think Bing would have brought. Well, no, I know. Just
Christmas is the end game, in the sense of he has this big sermon to try to bring in the money and stuff like that. But in the end, it's a character play. It's about the three characters dealing with the community and his own personal relationship with his own wife. So it's beautiful. I recommend it as well. So enjoy.
Now, do you?
There's also a magnificent moment with sherry. There's a bottle of sherry sequence that at the time was the height of special effects. There's a special effects sequence in the movie,
and I love that guy who plays the
so
professor.
Costly. Yeah, it was so costly that the movie ran over budget by almost $1 million. And in the 40s, that's a lot of money. That was
and like when he put the index cards back, was like high-end special effects for like. Yeah. Now, do you guys have a specific? Do you guys have a Christmas episode of a TV show that you guys remember that you really liked? Because I remember there was a Christmas episode of The Wonder Years where was his name Arnold? No,
Kevin Arnold.
Kevin, yeah, Kevin. When Kevin was planning out to have a wonderful Christmas with Winnie, and right on Christmas Eve, Winnie's family gets news that her brother died in Vietnam.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and it literally shook me. I remember when I was a kid, it shook me because it was a very lighthearted Christmas episode. And you thought it was going to end with them all having Christmas fun on Christmas Eve and Christmas shenanigans, but he goes to her house and he has her Christmas present, and her parents open the door and tell Kevin what happened. And they hand him Winnie's present to him because Winnie's so distraught, she just lost her brother. And he goes home and he opens a little box, and it was like a 4-leaf clover. And I remember in 1980, whatever, being a teenager watching this, and literally I was like crying hysterically because it was so well done. And it's funny because there's so many great Christmas episodes, but they're from a lot of shows that weren't like the super popular ones. So I was just curious if you guys had one that ever like touched you or you thought was really cool. No?
I mean, I've got one that didn't touch me. I thought it was funny as hell.
Okay.
It would have been the Married with Children episode with Sam Kinison as the angel.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was the Odd Couple where where Oscar was Scrooge. That was a really, really good one. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was a Happy Days Christmas where Fonzie's dad comes back.
Remember that one?
That was really, really.
See, before or after he jumped the shark?
Yeah, it was way before he jumped a shark.
Okay.
I think he was still in his blue.
It was before he got the leather.
Yep.
Wow.
Now,
I like. Oh, I thought of one.
Go ahead.
Mr. Bean, the Mr. Bean Christmas. It's one of my favorites. There's this whole bit where he's in like the department store and he's shopping around and he comes across a little nativity scene and he starts playing with different figures coming into the nativity scene, making a ruckus and stuff like that. It's just hysterically funny. It's just wonderful.
Now,
Throwing
David and Joe.
It's just amazing.
I'm gonna go new. I think I'm a big fan of Community, and there was an Abed Christmas special that they did where it was Abed, and it was basically Abed having a mental breakdown around Christmas because the college had to close and he had to go home and he didn't really want to go home. So it was Abed, and basically was done Rankin Bass style, and basically he just goes around and he has all the characters on the show are misfit toys. And Abed is they're just trying to get Abed home for Christmas. And it's a really good episode. And then I would also say any of the Doctor Who episodes that involve Doctor Who actually dealing with a Christmas Carol or like Dickens. You know what I mean? Like there are episodes of Doctor Who that deal with Dickens and A Christmas Carol. I think those are always really fun, and because Doctor Who always premieres on Christmas Day. So I always like those.
I haven't seen any of those. Have any of you guys saw the Bruce Campbell Christmas movie that came out this year?
Black Friday?
No, he had a Christmas movie.
Different Christmas movie.
It was
he has one
actually
that's on Lifetime.
Yeah, it was like
it's a music one.
It was actually
the Black Friday one.
It was really, really entertaining. It was him and Peter Gallagher play like old musicians that get back together to do a Christmas show. But it was a really, really a great special. All right. Every year, I am really enthralled with, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, Perry Como did a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Now, John and David, if you guys wouldn't mind staying on and bearing with us, we're going to do a little bit of a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And then when we're done, we'll get back and we'll wrap this Christmas extravaganza up. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Not a creature stirring, not even a mouse.
All righty, Joe, are you ready? Is that a yes?
Oh, I thought that was the cue to cue.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'm ready.
All righty. I'll take my close-up. I don't know if I'm on close-up because I don't have a screen, but I'll take you.
You are on close-up.
Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of a new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. Oh, Comet, on Cupid, on Dunder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves before the wind hurricane fly, when they meet and with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys was flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he'd laugh, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then, with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down on a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
And I have the most important part, the end.
I want to thank the legendary John O'Hurley for joining us and finishing off that wonderful rendition of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much, John, because I really wanted to, always wanted to do that. And John O'Hurley, was there anybody who was ever more made for being the host of Jeopardy than John O'Hurley? He literally is the walking embodiment of who should be the next full-time Jeopardy host, if you ask me.
Is that actually a thing, or is that just you speculating?
No, that's a thing.
Oh, he's up for the gig?
Yeah.
I thought the gig was settled.
Yeah,
Well, they had two people, one of which who got in trouble, and the other person only wanted to do it half of the time. So now they're reassessing what they're going to do.
Oh.
And
I thought they
think-
decided to
Enjoying Maya Ballack.
I think it's between John O'Hurley and Geordie. I can't think of his name right now.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. From what I
No,
understand.
I think LeVar found his own thing.
He got
yeah.
he got another gig. He got another
Yeah.
hosting gig.
That was so. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Libby. I hope everybody enjoyed that. All right, it's coming upon the end of the show. I just wanted to get that done because I always wanted to do that, and I just thought it came out. What do you think, Dave?
To
Did it
get
come
that
out nice?
planned for a couple
I
of years.
enjoyed it. I actually noticed something in there too. Like they actually used the original name for everybody says Donner now, but it was originally Donder.
Donder,
back
yes.
in- yeah. So I was like, oh wow, that's actually in that version.
Well, only the best on the end of that.
I know.
Yeah.
Culture.
John, where can people find you? John Wayne, where can people
Yeah.
find you and your show and all that jazz?
We do a show every either Tuesday or Wednesday night. It's called Loud and Nerdy. I do it with a great comedian from New York named Paul Spratt. He's fantastic. We do all your pop culture needs, talk about movies, talk about things grossing $500 million over a weekend, little things, small things, and then we do all kinds of cool things. Like right now we're in the middle of our Christmas Spirit tournament, so we have Clark Griswold getting ready to go up against George Bailey, getting ready to go up against Buddy the Elf in a triple threat. So come find us. We're on Facebook and we're on all of the major podcast places.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Thank you for having me. Happy birthday, Brian.
If I don't see
Thank
you
you,
before
sir.
now on Christmas, have a great one, pal.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for having me tonight. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Good night.
David, you're up next, my friend. Where can people find you and your work and all your wonderful things that you are up to?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under David Howard Thornton, and yeah, that's about it. I'm just letting y'all know we got Terrifier 2 and Stream, another horror film I'm doing, coming at you guys sometime next year. So exciting times.
Do you have any upcoming appearances at conventions that you like?
My next convention I know I'm going to be at is going to be at Mad Monster Party in North Carolina in February. So I'll be there. I'm excited.
Fantastic, Dave. Thank you so
Yes,
much for always being a
you.
pal and always getting my back. And Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas to you all as well.
Thank you,
Merry
David.
Christmas, David. How are
Thank
you
you.
doing?
Thank you.
And then there was 4, my friends. What a wonderful show. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't screw that much up.
No, you didn't. I want, it was I want to reflect for a moment because it was a great year, considering how many crappy things were going on in the world. We're all here. We're all healthy. We're all relatively happy, and I'm honored, completely honored, and a privilege to call these wonderful Indie Escape people not only my friends but my dear friends. They've supported the show throughout the year. I can name people who have been on the show over the course of the year, but I mean, I want to thank every single person who showed up, who helped us on this show. We had such a wonderful time, so many wonderful memories. We'll be back in 2022 with a whole new crazy show to kick off the new year with. But first off, I want to thank Joe for being a wonderful producer, a dear friend, a smart guy, an incredibly talented on-air personality, and I'm honored to call you a friend.
Thank you.
Uncle Scott, I consider you a brother. Merry Christmas, my dear friend. I would take a bullet for any of you guys. And Brian, as you know, I know you for probably 12 or 13 years now. Love you like a brother. I love all you guys like a brother. And thank you for joining me tonight. And you'll never really know how much reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas for me meant to me, because it may sound corny, but I think it was very, very touching. I think we all did a wonderful job. And then John O'Hurley's epic close there really was like the closer for me. I will remember that forever. And I just wanted to thank you guys for just being awesome.
Thank you, David.
as well.
Thank you,
And-
CJ.
And I know you were trying to do that for the past couple of years, and it just never connected. And it was really, really cool the way it went down tonight.
No,
appreciate it.
I'm glad that it went off without a hitch. With that being said, Scott, is there anything you want to say? You have any appearances or anything you want to say with everybody before we wrap this season up in this year?
Just thank you all for the support for all my social media and all of my endeavors. You folks have been amazing. And I have nothing aside from, we know Clerks 3 will be dropping next summer. I have other things coming up too before that, but nothing comes to mind. But I want everybody to have a safe, healthy, wonderful holiday. Embrace the people you love. Don't forget to tell them that you love them. And hey, man, it's all good.
Mr. Halloran, any thoughts you might want to share?
Oh, well, it's been great. This came out of the start of your show, coming out, from the lockdown kind of situation, and it's grown into such a great regular show for everybody. I'm so glad to have been invited from time to time on various topics with various guests and stuff. So it's been awesome. As far as the upcoming year, as of right now, I have this. See if it'll come up. Share screen. Oh, well, I won't share it. Anyway.
Well, I've got it on this end.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I'll be at Fan Expo both in New Orleans, January 7th through the 9th, then Fan Expo in Portland, January 21st through the 23rd. Vancouver, yes, I'm going to cross the border, hopefully, the 19th and 21st. And then Raleigh, GalaxyCon. These are the confirmed shows as of right now. So, hopefully I'll get to see some of y'all folks out there at these shows. In the meantime, thank you guys for having me on. It was fun reading The Night Before Christmas. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that.
Thank you, Brian. You're always welcome on this show, your family, and thank you for joining us. Joe, is there anything you want to say before we call it a season?
There is, and everyone knows that this show kind of derived from another show a year ago, and I want to thank David for keep going on with it. I'm getting choked up here. what's the word I'm looking for?
For continuing our legacy.
Continuing, yes, that is it. It is much appreciated. Everybody for watching. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to David Lee Madison's The End of the Night on Facebook, The Indie Escape on YouTube and Facebook. I will actually be at a con at the end of January as press, hanging out with some celebs, doing some live interviews, and we're going to be plugging that pretty soon. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.
With that being said, again, thank you everybody who joined us for this Christmas spectacular. Thank you everybody who joined us all season. We'll be back in 2022, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And with that being said, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. I think it's over, but Happy Hanukkah. I hope you had a wonderful season. Whatever you celebrate, may your heart find the happiness that it deserves. Enjoy your loved ones and the people that you love. And remember, no man is a failure who has friends.